All right, guys. So I stumbled across this video on Twitter from Libs or TikTok, of course, that I feel is very important that we need to talk about. Okay, especially in this day and time, because it is a testimonial from a woman who claims that their ex-girlfriend peer pressured her into becoming a transgender man. Okay, and she is speaking out about this because she feels like this is wrong, right? And basically she's saying that, if I can be influenced by this, then imagine all the other people that can be influenced by people telling them that there's something that they're biologically not. Okay, and that's why I feel like this story is important. And one thing that's missing from the conversation, guys, is the role of peer pressure, right? What role does peer pressure play into making people identify as, transgender or LGBTQ or whatever, right? I think that is really missing from the conversation, and that's why I want to talk about this. In fact, there was a 2019 study from Brown University that found that parents of children experiencing gender dysphoria observed their teens feeling pressure to fit in with their friend group. Parents have described clusters of gender dysphoria in pre-existing friend groups, with multiple or even all members of a friend group becoming gender dysphoric and transgender identified in a pattern that seems statistically unlikely based on previous research. Parents describe a process of immersion in social media, such as binge watching YouTube, transition videos, and excessive use of Tumblr, immediately preceding their child becoming gender dysphoric. So, yeah, I mean, this is stuff that is even showing up in studies, guys, right? Like, parents are claiming that, hey, a part of the patterns that we're seeing from our children who are experiencing gender dysphoria is that their friends are also experiencing the same thing, right? It seems to show up in clusters where, they're getting exposed to a lot of this stuff on the internet, and, that could be leading them to identify as, transgender, LGBTQ or whatever, right? So this is why I want to talk about this story, right? I think that it is important. So let's go ahead and play this person's testimonial and go from there.
When I was in my early 20s, I lived in Olympia, Washington, and I had a girlfriend at the time, and she told me, "You are a boy." And I was like, not so sure about that. But she pressed it enough. She's like, "Look at the way you dress, look at your mannerisms, look at the way you talk." I'm like, okay, well, I still talk the same.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's obvious that this woman is what we call a tomboy, right? She's a tomboy. She's a girl, a biological girl who identifies as a girl, right? Who is a girl that, has masculine features and traits, right? She likes to do things that we traditionally see as masculine. Like, as you can see, look at her haircut, okay? She's hair is cut like a boy, okay? She got a little jawline going. She got some acne going on here. Like, she looks like a boy. She's wearing a tank top. Look, that doesn't make her a boy. It just makes her a woman who has some masculine features, right? This is something that has been established for decades and decades, what a tomboy is. But in today's society, if you are a tomboy, then they say, no, you're not actually really just a girl who acts like a boy, but you're still a girl. You use the girl's bathroom. You do everything that traditional females and women do. No, you're actually a boy. So now you can use the boys' bathroom. You can do everything that society expects boys to do simply because you're a girl with masculine traits, right? That is what society is telling tomboys now, right?
Still have these same mannerisms. Today I wear boots and jeans. With them I wear girl pants, like Miss Me's Rock Revivals, etc., etc. Doesn't matter. But she was damn convinced. Yeah, you're a guy. So I went with it, wrote this page essay that she wanted me to write as to why you are.
Wow. You was sipping hard for your girl, right? You was sipping hard, okay? Because you let this person not only convince you that you're something that you knew you weren't, you also wrote essay, right? I guess a 1-page essay about it. Like it's a homework assignment or something. Okay. Did she grade you on the essay? Right. I wonder I wonder how that worked. Yeah, part of me feels bad for this person, but at the same time, it's like, you're a grown ass adult, right? Let's be real. Why are you letting people peer pressure you into believing that you're something that you're not, especially going as far as to change your gender, right? Like, why would you let somebody peer pressure you into doing that? Why would you let them do that? I mean, because look, you're in a lesbian relationship. I don't think, what you're going to do is going to change the nature of that relationship, right? Considering the roles that you already play. Because typically in a lesbian relationship, there's a woman that is more masculine anyways, right? That's going to do more masculine things. She's going to play the role as a man, even though she doesn't necessarily identify as a man, but she's going to play the role as a man. I don't understand what the difference would be if you start identifying as a man, except you might be pressured into actually getting cosmetic or surgical procedures that could be permanent, right? Procedures that you could regret in the future. Okay. That to me seems to be a little bit too far. I don't know. Maybe your girlfriend, like, I don't know, flat-chested women, right? Maybe your girlfriend wanted you to get a mastectomy and to, go through all of the changes. And if that's the case, I don't understand why she's a lesbian. She might as well just be straight if she actually wants to do. But maybe she wants to do with a vagina. I don't know. Again, people are into all types of weird stuff in 2022. I really don't understand it.
I started binding. I went with
binding is when you wear this like bra or whatever that makes your chest look really flat, right? To make you look more masculine as a woman, okay?
this stupid different name. I still remember it. It's dumb. And
was your name dumb, or are you saying that the name was dumb? Oh man.
Went with that little acceptance. Yeah. And that was in my early 20s. Once I broke up with her, got away from those friends, I wanted nothing to do with that, and I immediately stopped. And I thought I was so glad that I am who I am today.
Yeah, I'm glad too, because, I can't really tell too much here from the video, but it looks like you didn't go through any permanent changes, okay? It doesn't look like that. I don't know, you probably could have. I mean, I really don't know. But I'm just saying, it doesn't look like you went through any permanent changes. You're just a tomboy who's always looked like a boy, but you know in your heart that you're not actually a boy, right? I'm glad that she's come to this realization here.
Thank God. Oh my gosh. Really enjoy just being me. I look at the younger generation today and what they're doing to kids and how easy it is for their minds and to just flop that. And it's like a mental delusion, because I was a full-ass grown adult convinced by one person, their friends supported me, and it was like instant.
Facts. What this person is saying is absolute facts, and this is what we've been talking about, right? If her friends, right, can convince a grown-ass woman that no, you're actually a boy, right? You're 20-some years old. Imagine what they can do to a 4-year-old, a 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 7-year-old, 8-year-old. Imagine what they can do to that kid, right? And that is what some people are advocating for. That's okay when they come out here and say, well, laws like these so-called Don't Say Gay bill are anti-trans, right? They're against trans kids. And I'm like, okay, but what do you mean, right? How can a child understand the concept of being transgender, right? Unless this is something that is being told to them and being taught to them, right? And when you have a child who does things that children do, right? Like, for example, you may have a 4-year-old, 5-year-old boy that may wear a dress or something like that because they really don't understand that dresses are for girls. You have adults out there, right, that will pick up on that behavior, parents included, that will say, oh, this little boy wears a dress. he must actually be a girl, right? He's not actually a boy, he's actually a girl. So therefore, we're going to go through the gender affirmation process where we're going to basically treat this person as a girl simply because they display traits that they feel traditionally belongs to women, when that's not actually who they are. That's just a child being a child. Something that 99.9% of them will grow out of. And that's the crazy part about this stuff, right? This is what happened to this person. Somebody told her that, hey, you have masculine features, therefore you must be a boy. She was 20 years old and was convinced of that, right? That argument made sense to her at one point. Imagine somebody telling that same thing to a 5, 6, 7-year-old girl. Again, like she said, instant switch, right? Easy to put that on a kid and to convince them that, you know, that's what they are. And that's the dangerous part about this stuff, guys. It really is. That's the dangerous stuff. Like, again, if it can happen to a grown adult, what do you think happens to these children that, you know, are being exposed to this stuff, specifically in schools and parents pushing them on them in some cases?
Fine. Okay. And if I hadn't have gone away from that, I have no idea what would have happened.
Well, you would have went and got top surgery, right? You would have been on hormones. You would have been taking testosterone. Your voice would have been deeper. You would have undergone permanent changes that are not easily reversible. That's what you would have done. And then you would have regretted it. You would have regretted it. That's what would have happened.
I don't.
And the sad part is that this person's girlfriend was not the one that would suffer the consequences, right? Even though she's the one that pushed it on her.
So are there people who are trans and so, well, you know what? Fine. But I really do feel like it's not okay, and especially for the younger kids. Especially, it's not okay. They're way too young. If that happened to me in my early 20s and I was convinced that quick, imagine these younger kids with just like a single teacher telling them, you are not a boy, you're a girl. Or the other.
Facts, right? I guess there's some people, some woke revolutionaries would call that girl a TERF, right? A trans exclusionary radical feminist, right? That's what they would call her for speaking out and saying that, hey, you know what? I was pushed into this. I regret it, and I don't think that this is right to push on kids. I don't think that we should be doing this to children. Again, that's what they would call this person, right? So it is very brave for somebody like her to come out here and put this video out there on the internet saying this type of stuff, because the mob don't like this, right? They don't like stories that go against the narrative that all this stuff is safe, right? That, you know, this is perfectly fine and that this is something that we should be doing. So like I said, this is very brave of her to come out here and to put this story out there on the internet, because they're going to call her a transphobe, right? They're going to say she's a bigot for speaking her piece about how she regretted a transition that was pushed on her by her girlfriend. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.